Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Intellectual Films, and today we're going over the state of PvP. So you were either pleased with the changes made to PvP in the latest update, you found it more accessible to new players or just casual players, or you were on the other side of the fence and you were displeased. You enjoyed the challenging power fights or power rating fights that you would run into, and you found this to be a little more of a disingenuous approach by the developers, kind of suppressing the amount of fights you would be able to embark on throughout every refresh. So I'm going to go over the imbalances that the game faces today, and I'm going to kind of suggest some fixes that could be made and addressed in the next update that is to come. So first things first, the type of fights that you're likely to encounter now every time you refresh, or in the battle log for that matter. So you're either likely to face against, I'm going to point to this guy, the level 70, as you guys can see there, fights that you just cannot even consider, honestly. They're just far too difficult. The power rating is insane, and you would be a fool to even hit the battle button, honestly. Or fights that are just far too easy in that their power ratings are 5,000 to 7,000 below you, and you could just auto that and fast forward that and just win the fight outright. It just steamroll the opponent, so to speak. So what state of PvP do I recommend for the future of DC Legends? Well, if there's one thing that I can compliment a game like Marvel Future Fight for, it's that it kind of incentivizes you to use all your characters. So what I mean by that is you are encouraged to build up all your heroes depending on the people you encounter, let's say for DC Legends in PvP. So I'm encouraged to build up somebody like Bane because he's useful against a set team, okay? If the power ratings are relatively equal and the levels are relatively fair and balanced, what has to happen at the end of the day is I have to just simply have a better strategy than my opponent to take him down. And at the end of a match, I don't lose because he simply had a more powerful team than me in terms of levels, right? I lost because I simply didn't have the strategy to defeat them. So whether it's a crit team, whether it's a heal team, whether it's a shield team, whether it's an AoE team, it really doesn't matter. You would have to have a set number of characters, a team, whatever. You would have to assemble a certain team that would be able to counter that team in PvP. Right? So again, so the game continues to encourage you to build your roster of characters. And there's a reason for it, because PvP has to be the most rewarding mode in this game, period. So let's just jump back into the PvP and let's show you kind of the rankings and what I find just illogical in terms of what WB is doing now with the battles. So if you are in the lower end of this, so if you are a casual player, you might be towards the 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 range, and you're getting, throughout every refresh, you're getting actually relatively fair fights, honestly. You're getting the +5s quite often, and you might run into a couple +8s every other refresh, I would say. So what I'm trying to say is you're actually collecting the fragments, the Dark Knight Batman fragments, and you're adding that to your collection. But, and this is amazing to me. If you are in the higher ranks, like myself, in the top 1,500, guess what? It is quite literally, virtually impossible for you to collect fragments for the Dark Knight Batman. So this just blows my mind, honestly. The fact that even though you're higher ranked, you don't get the goodies, right? Usually games, the better you perform in a game, you're rewarded more. No, it's flipped for a game like DC Legends. No, you're actually rewarded far more for just being kind of mid to low tier in this game. You're more likely to be able to collect the fragments. And again, this only happens because you have to run into these impossible fights that you just cannot even entertain. So again, there's no logical consistency with this game at all in my mind, in terms of PvP at least. It just makes no sense. I would think that if I was in the top 1,500, yes, I do get the goodies. I totally understand that. I get the 140 Supergirl fragments and the 1,000 battle, arena points, but I can't collect any Dark Knight fragments, which is wildly surprising to me at least, because I would think I would be able to do it far more often than, let's say, somebody who doesn't play the game as often as myself. So there's a lot that PvP needs to address in the next update. More notably than all of these, I would say to WB is how imbalanced the fights are. Again, the fact that I have to run into people who have a 5,000 power rating while I have a 12,000 power rating, and that I have to run into people with a 21,000 power rating while I have a 12,000. It just makes no sense to me, and I hope it is addressed in the video. In the next update by DC Legends. And again, looking at the top ranks, this also baffles me and makes no sense that the second best player is actually level 54. I'm actually level 54. Quite surprising. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on DC Legends PvP. Let me know what you guys think of the PvP and what your suggestions for some fixes are. And I will catch you guys soon. Cheers.